Hi guys, who's Lisa Test?
It's me for some reason. Just yeah, I don't know why I did that, but I'm renaming myself now anyway. I just couldn't rename myself until I was in.
Oh, Sisibo said she had given you guys her login details.
No, not me. Not me, guys. And I don't think Mobs has it. No.
It's the same you take test and slow in the morning, but it's fine. We'll just rename. Would you mind letting me in as well?
Mahlati?
Hi, I can't hear.
Oh, can you let Nwabisa in, please, and make us hosts?
Is she also Lisa Test?
Yes, we all leaflet test for some reason.
Okay, you guys don't need to change your names.
There's somebody else.
The third person.
Yeah, who's that? Who's the third leaflet test? Mohale, maybe.
Good afternoon.
Mohale, we're gonna have to rename you, my man.
I don't know why I'm. Anyway, it's okay.
If
How are you
you
guys?
if you go to your profile and you click the rename, I think it's through the three little dots, and then you select rename, you can name yourself. Um,
Uh,
I think that would be ideal. Yeah, if you can do that.
okay,
I
let me
reckon
just.
all the participants are also going to be leaflet test, which I don't know why that's happening. This is why we come early.
Fair enough. Uh,
I'll see if I can name
okay.
you. Oh, I can't.
I
So,
think I can. I'm hoping that they can, that they'll use the ones that they receive from me and not the one from Nabisa, because then they won't be Lisa Test. Oh, okay.
It's funny they
Is it
are because
Mhale or Mohale?
it's
Mukhale.
Mohale.
We've
The
got you.
G,
Your
yeah,
name is
like
there.
Mohale City.
Oh, okay. All right. You already changed that.
Awesome. Can we test your camera and sharing your slides, Mkhale?
Sure. There's my camera, although I look horrible.
I think maybe you
Let,
need to face the window if possible.
yeah, maybe I'll move. Let me
Yeah.
just see, share my slides. Okay, can you see my slides?
I can, yes, now I can. Can you put it in
Okay.
presenter mode? Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. And your sound is working, so that's great.
Okay.
Uh,
Maybe I can see. Yes. Is that
yes,
better?
that's much better. That's much, much better.
Okay. See if
Can
I
see
can
your
switch
face.
this off. Yeah. Let me just try and switch off the lights.
Okay. Yeah, that's still fine.
That's so
Works.
good.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Great.
Great. Um, I don't know, we have about 10 minutes if you would like to
Okay.
run through anything with us.
No, I think, well, I think I've got enough information.
Feel
Basically, you
comfy.
guys are looking for some technology that you think is fitting for your clients, and this is an
Mm,
opportunity for us to pitch and see if there's any uptake. Then I'm guessing that if there is uptake, then we will discuss how that works after the meeting. I thought this is just a quick presentation on what it is that is makes our
perfect.
technology special, and then we could open the floor and have some discussions around some of the problems that your clients are facing and how we think our technologies are suitable for them.
Yeah, great.
So what I would
So we're
suggest also is for you at the beginning and also like in the middle, well, in the beginning and at the end, because you're going to be presenting in the middle, is for you to share your contact details on the chat.
yes,
Um,
Okay,
yeah, so just so that you can leave it to chance also so that people are not having to find you and then ask for your details. Rather just
yeah,
put
sure.
them out there, and then those who need to use them will use them.
Okay.
brilliant. We will also share your product deck that
Yes.
brochure with everyone following the meeting along with your contact details. And really, the goal of these sessions is to share the innovations that are happening in these spaces with potential market. So these are potential markets for you. They're farmers that were in one of the many Hloolo programs over the years that have been selected. We only selected a few because this is also the first time we're doing a demo like this. But once it's done, the recording will also be topped and tailed. So we'll remove all of this chit chat that we're having now, and it'll just be your demo presentation and your contact details. And we'll put that on our platform on Hloolo. So people can then go and contact you as well via the platform. So that's what we're hoping to do. We'll also share a little bit about it on social media. So there is quite a bit of opportunity there. And I went through your deck. The changes are amazing. I think they're speaking to the right audience now. So thanks, Nubs, for sending that mail. Yeah. So we're looking forward to checking out this innovation and seeing how this first iteration of this process works. We might invite you back again should this be a successful process. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Thanks,
Do you have
Nubs.
any tips for me, maybe? Is there something before we get
No,
started?
so I did write a little introduction for you because I mailed you and said, can you send me an introduction? But I'm hoping this one works just fine because I went and stalked you on the internet.
Okay, that's good.
I'm
I think.
just gonna say, first, I'm just gonna say good afternoon and welcome to our first ever Hloolo SME Innovation Spotlight. First up is Mogale Maleka, founder and CEO of AB Farms. Mogale is an entrepreneur, mechanical engineer, and hydroponics specialist. Today, Mogale will be taking us through AB Farms' turnkey solution that will help farmers save water, land, and energy, which means save you money. And then I'll hand over to you.
Okay.
You're happy with that?
Yeah, I am. And the session is about an hour, I think.
Yeah, it is. So I'm going to keep mine super tight. And if you can squeeze your presentation ideally into maximum 30 minutes, I'd say 20 minutes is ideal because obviously we don't want to lose people's attention. The remaining time is really just for people to ask you questions, to engage with you if they'd like to, and for us to share the information on the chat. So yeah, and then we'll close for the day. So it might end up being way less than an hour, which would be typical of a demo, to be shorter.
Yeah, because my slides are like 10 minutes long tops.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Then we
I
buy
think
time back in their calendar. We tell them, listen, now we've that time in your calendar, you can go answer your emails.
Yeah.
I understand it can.
All right. Cool. So then, Isabel, you will start.
Yeah, you. Sorry, Nwabs is talking, but let me just.
Cool. No, we're just mindful of sound and echo, but I was just saying, Mogale, to Isabel, that obviously it's a formal session, but also for you to enjoy it. And just in between to maybe ask people like, hey, any questions or comments? Because I know, when you're in the mode and like presentation mode, it's easy to just like literally go straight through without maybe trying to see, is there anything on the chat or like, does anyone have a question? And just for you to have fun with it also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
So for the intro, what I'm going to do is, Mogale, are you sharing right now?
I can't hear you.
Yes, should I stop sharing?
Yes, please. Please stop sharing because what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the intro. So I'm going to spotlight Isabel, and then she's gonna do the intro, and then following that, she will then so following that, then you can when it's time for you to present, she'll introduce you, then I will spotlight you, and then with your presentation up.
Okay.
Yeah.
You look very familiar. Were you at the SA Innovation Summit? Yeah.
Yes, I was. Yes,
Oh, okay. I was with Bashe there. I sat with you guys for some
Oh,
time.
wow.
Um,
yes.
yeah.
Yes,
But
you guys were
it's like,
sitting there with us. Yes, yes,
yes,
yes,
we had been lunch
yes,
there. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Ah,
I'm
okay, I
wondering,
remember.
you guys look so familiar, but it took me some time to figure out from where do I know you
I
guys
thought I
from?
just had a familiar face.
Oh no, you guys do look familiar. Just I had to pinpoint where exactly I had
No, you're very
met you.
good. You're
Yeah,
very good at remembering.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So Isabel, I'm
Mo-
gonna spotlight you
Perfect.
first for when everyone comes on, and then we can get started. Hmm.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, we've got another little test. Okay, I'm gonna write into the waiting room that people must please rename themselves. There's one who didn't use it, but there's one who did.
Yeah, I see that.
Still naming convention here. The Hloolo SME innovation.
SME Innovation Spotlight.
Cool, that's the word I was looking for.
One more minute. We get started.
We have another little test.
It's like that other time when DigiNauts
I heard
when
about that.
did that, and then they had a webinar, and like 150 people or something joined, and they were all called Craig. This is that moment. So it's a Zoom era, and it's unfortunate, but Mohale, if we end up with quite a tight, oh,
Yes.
we'll chat about it at the end, okay? See, everyone's being let into the room. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We'll wait a minute before we get started, as we're hoping to let everyone have maximum time for Q&A. We've got Mohale in the room who will be presenting today, as well as some team members from Fatola. You'll notice Mahlatse, as well as Nwabisa, who will be manning the chat, or womaning the chat, rather, womaning the chat today. So if you do have any questions that pop up that you want answered, they would be more than happy to to get that done for you. Mahlatsi has popped in the chat that you'll see some of you are called Lihle test. We think that's a bit of a Zoom issue. So if you go up to your profile image and select the three dots, there should be in the top right-hand corner of your image, you should have the option to rename yourself. So please do that so that we know who exactly is in the room. And are able to connect with you directly. Awesome. I'm going to get started. I'm going to do a little introduction and then I'll hand straight over to Mogale to take us away in explaining his innovation. So, good afternoon and welcome to our first ever Hloolo SME Innovations Spotlight. We're hoping this is going to be the first of many. Mogale is first up, Mogale Maleka. He's the founder and CEO of AB Farms. Mogale is an entrepreneur, a mechanical engineer, and a hydroponic specialist. And actually, while I was stalking him online today, I spotted that he has been kind of all over the world sharing this solution and getting insights. So know that you have an expert in the room and somebody that has really tried and tested his turnkey solution. So today, Mogale will be taking us through AB Farms' turnkey solution that will help you save water, land, and energy, which to all small businesses out there means money. I'm sure we would all love to save a bit on the expenses and make a little bit more profit. So Mogale, I'm going to hand over to you and tell us more about AB Farms and what you're doing in this space.
Thank you so much, Isabel, and the Hloolo team for having me. It is my pleasure to present to your audience. I'll just share my screen and then we can get started. Can everybody see my screen? Isabel, is my screen visible?
Yes, we can see your slide. Thanks.
Thank you very much. One thing that you didn't mention was that I am a farmer. I don't think it says that online. And I'm from a family of farmers. So I'm in this very unique position of understanding what being a small-scale farmer is about, being raised by farmers myself, as well as being an engineer and understanding some and a certain approach of solving some of the problems that farmers face from a technical perspective. So that is essentially how we started the company. It's essentially trying to use agricultural technology to help small-scale farmers to evolve and become more competitive. Essentially, our company, what we do is we design, we manufacture, and we install vertical hydroponic solutions. And in a nutshell, we enable farmers to produce more with less resources. On the right of the screen are some of our developmental partners that have helped us develop this solution from ideation through to commercialization, where we are now selling throughout the continent. So essentially, there are three main problems that small-scale farmers face, as well as farming households. One of them being the land issue. Agricultural land prices, despite the politics, land prices have risen by 200% in the past 10 years. So a farmer thinking that they could just plant more and more using more and more land is not a realistic solution, particularly for small-scale farmers. The second issue is outside of load shedding in South Africa, so the energy costs have increased by 500% through the past 10 years as well. So that is a major issue. Small scale farmers tend to struggle with electricity. The third problem that we're facing as small-scale farmers is the water availability issue. South Africa is the 30th driest country in the world, and given all of the issues surrounding climate change, lots of us aren't going to necessarily be receiving more water. Fertilizer costs, on the other hand, have increased by 300% also in the past 10 years. So all of these problems are essentially what inhibit small-scale farmers from increasing production year on year, at the very least to keep in line with the increase in population, in the increase in market. And this is what increases food prices in the long run. So at AB Farms, we're saying that vertical hydroponics is a solution to solve some of these problems. In essence, hydroponics, for those who aren't aware, is a soilless farming technique that is used to grow a variety of crops in a nutrient-rich solution. The benefits of that being that when you use hydroponics, you can use 10 times less land. So what that means is per square meter, you are producing 10 times more kilograms of produce. You're using about 90% less water and 60% less fertilizer. This is because the water is being constantly recycled in the system. So we're reusing the same water. And you can do this really in a virtually pesticide-free environment anywhere in the world, regardless of soil conditions and temperature conditions where you are. So as AB Farms, we did not invent hydroponics, nor did we invent vertical hydroponics for that matter. What we did is we looked at the process of hydroponics, and we essentially came up with a model that we believe will work in the South African context as well as the African context, where there is, as farmers, you don't have consistent supply of electricity because of load shedding and other issues, as well as consistent water for whatever reason. So essentially what makes our technology unique is that it's vertical in nature, number one. Number two, it allows you to irrigate your crops periodically as opposed to continuously as compared to other hydroponic systems that are often imported from abroad. So just to go into more detail, this is how the technology operates. You've got a pure water tank on the left of the screen. That's where you source your water from either a borehole or municipal water, and then you throw that into the system. We call that a catchment tank. This is where you would mix your fertilizer. You would then pump your fertilizer with your water from the catchment tank through a bunch of filters into the hydroponic planters, as I've shown you in the previous slide, and then you would filter back the water. So this system is a closed loop system. So the water is being recycled and you're saving a lot of that fertilizer. When you're topping up on your water and your fertilizer, you're only topping up that which the plant has used, right? So this is in contrast to traditional farming where you have a lot of runoff. Even through drip irrigation, you can't necessarily allow the water, your irrigation system to just irrigate the roots. So the only way to do that is to go hydroponics. So that's where the water saving and the fertilizer saving comes from. Depending on the budget and the climate, we usually go for water coolers or in some form of closed environment just to mitigate the temperature, the high temperatures and the low temperatures throughout the year, depending on where we are on the continent. And then what makes our technology unique compared to other hydroponic systems is that this loop, usually what happens is this loop runs continuously, but we found a way to break that loop without having to affect the plants. What that means is your system can remain without any additional water or any additional electricity for up to 3 days without affecting your crops. Of course, when you've got load shedding, this comes in handy. Even if you're taking the system off grid, you want to add solar panels because you're not using a lot of energy. In essence, you don't need a big solar system or even batteries because you don't need to run at night. Even during cloudy days, you can go 3-4 days without running the system. So that's really what makes the technology special compared to other hydroponic systems that would have some of the hydroponic benefits, as we mentioned in the previous slide. So this is just a picture of some of the projects that we've completed around the continent. On the right, I'll start there. That's a small system. It was in a school in KZN. Essentially, what we did there was we set up a system where we could teach the young children on how to farm using modern technology, but also we added the produce from that food from the system went into the feeding scheme. So we do have small systems for basically households and non-commercial use cases. Then we have the much larger systems on the left side of the picture. Basically what you're seeing is on the left picture, the columns on the left and the right, those are each 1,200 units. So what you're seeing there is essentially an equivalent to one tunnel, which is 10 by 30. So that's really where the space saving comes from because we're going vertical. You can really get a lot done in a small piece of land. To give you a practical example, if you go for 1 hectare system on your 1 hectare plot, you could produce as much produce as someone who's on 10 hectares of space. So that's where the savings come from, just in terms of the land issue. These are just some of the other projects. Again, I just tried to highlight some of the smaller systems which you're seeing on the left, and then some of the larger systems which you're seeing on the right. Some of these systems are under a shade net structure. Some of them tend to be under plastic and pad and fan. It really depends on the climate conditions and the budget of the client. We tend to have a workaround where we would sit with the client, they would give us a brief, and then we would work backwards to say, okay, this is what the client wants to produce, these quantities this time of the year. This is the typical temperatures they are experiencing. Then we will design a turnkey solution to provide to the client. Just in terms of the sustainability and impact of these solutions, what we're looking at is an increased food production per square meter, per liter of water, per kilowatt of electricity, right? We're looking at zero hunger as part of the SDG goals, environmentally sustainable. What makes hydroponics amazing is that you can do it in an urban area, you can do it in a peri-urban area, you can do it without heavy machinery, right? When you use hydroponics, you don't need a tractor, you don't need a tiller, a plow, and all of these machines that require lots of diesel and emit carbon dioxide and some other greenhouse gases. So that's essentially where the benefit comes from. We're also finding that a lot of our clients tend to be on the younger side. In South Africa, most of our farmers are older farmers, yet we see a big uptake in the young people coming in looking for that technology-driven approach to agriculture. And of course, all of these basically boil down to the fact that we're saying per square meter of land that you have, we will increase your profits through reducing your water, through reducing your energy consumption and your fertilizer, as well as your labor. Because you're not tilling the soil, there's very little labor that comes along other than once you've planted and when you're harvesting. In between these two things, you don't really need to do anything other than watch the plant, do a little bit of spraying here and there if necessary. So our business model, sales model rather, is as follows. It's a turnkey solution. What that means is we do the manufacturing in-house. We will come and install the system on your farm, depending on the quantities that we've decided on and the design that you would have approved. And then we also provide after-sales support that is including training, it's including maintenance, all of the guarantees and warranties that come with the system. And going forward, we are looking at a business in a box model where we will open up a buyback policy where essentially we will buy the produce that is produced in our system. So this is something that as a potential client you can look forward to. If you can't market the actual produce, we will come and market it for you. This is something that is in the pipeline. It's not ready yet, but I just wanted to mention it for the benefit of the farmers. So in essence, we've got, can you see my screen? Okay, right. So in essence, I've mentioned two large systems. That's the product. The one was the 120 system. This is usually for households. And then we've got a much larger systems that go up to 10,000 units. So 10,000 planting spaces. These range anywhere between 12,000 Rand and 1.2 million Rand. And then essentially we market our technology. We started off in Gauteng, then we expanded throughout South Africa and then through the African continent. So essentially wherever you are, we can reach you depending on the scale and the size of the project. We will come down and install the system for you. I think that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. These are my contact details at the top and my business partner at the bottom. I will share them in the chat and the product brochure will be made available to you. Thank you so much for your attention. I'd like to take some questions if I may.
Any questions in the room? I know that we had one entrepreneur who joined late, but we will make sure that the recording is available on Hloolo by Hydrolics. So you will be able to access this recording at a later stage. If there are any questions, please pop up your hands, and Mohale would be happy to answer. Adelaide, go for it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Mohale. I just wanted to know, do you also manufacture the hydroponic? You put the seedlings, the starter, the seedlings, because I know the seedling is a little bit more different to what's with they don't go into a basket, they go onto a little, I think it's like a cotton cube. You guys also do that as well?
So the hydroponic Yes, so the hydroponic system comes with a netted cup that is attached to the system, and you could start the seedlings from there. That portion we do manufacture. And often what we do with our farmers is we say you don't need to use the like an inorganic medium. The same fertilizer mix that you get from like a seedling mix that you'd get from a nursery, you could use that as well. In fact, that works very well. So you don't necessarily have to go for an inorganic growing medium. And in our system, it's just that we use water as the medium, so there isn't any need for any other medium outside of that seedling mix that you would have started your seeds with.
Okay. So then the seedling actually adapts to just having the water, then having the cocoa mix. So does it adjust nicely to that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
We've got a question in the chat.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. So Enzel says, do you see any difference between the growth at the top and the bottom? And the answer is no. We've worked very hard at that. Maybe I should share my screen again so you could see for yourself. But the product brochure will be sent to you. You could go on LinkedIn and anywhere and see some of the pictures of our system. We don't have any difference between top and bottom and back and forth. So the systems that the plants at the front and the back of the system, as well as side to side. So we've found a way to design our system such that it's consistent throughout. Thank you.
Right. Are there any more questions? I have popped in the chat AB Farms' LinkedIn profile as well as their website for anyone to follow, or you can copy and paste those links so that you can follow them at leisure.
Yes. We will also be sharing the product brochure with anyone who attended today, and I would encourage you to get in touch with Mohale directly. He's quick on the responses, so he'll definitely get back to you fast. And he'll be able to answer any further questions you may have about this product. Thank you again for joining us today. Mohale, I don't know if you want to say any final words here.
Yeah, just to the farmers, I say let's continue. It's on us to feed the country and indeed the continent. So regardless of the challenges that we face as a class of people, I think let's just continue and par for the course. Thank you.
Adelaide, I see your hand is up.
Adelaide seems to have one more question.
Yeah, sorry, Mohale, I just wanted to know the growing period from seedling to harvesting. How many weeks is that now, please?
So you're looking at about a 4-week cycle consistently throughout the year. And that in the soil, you're looking at about a 6-week cycle. So it saves you about 2 weeks worth of plowing. And the reason for that is because the plants are spoiled. They don't have to fight with weeds. They don't have to fight with anything. It's really plants that are sitting in ideal conditions throughout their life. So that is what shortens the growing cycle.
Okay.
So that's for lettuce. Yes, and then for other crops as well, you'd usually get around a 2 to 3 week like shorter time.
Okay, so for your spinach as well, so does it have the same effect?
Yes. So for example, with spinach, you can typically start harvesting after 2 to 3 weeks. Even some of the herbs like basil, 2 to 3 weeks, you can start harvesting.
And coriander as well.
Yes, yes, yes. Mint,
Okay.
yeah, rocket, all of the herbs.
Okay. I just wanted to know, after your cycle, do you have to clean and sterilize the unit, or there's no algae or anything that will grow anyway, so or can you just continue?
Yes. So if
Or
you
would you change it if you planted a different crop?
so if you plant and you're able to harvest and plant the same day, then you don't have to clean it. So if you work consistently, so let's say you harvest in the morning and then around this time you're already replanting, then you don't have to wash it or sterilize or drain the water. You can actually use the same water, you just rebalance it and then you continue. And you could do this about 3 to 4 times. So if it's lettuce, for example, then it will be 3 months and then you will wash it after that. If, however, you harvest and then you leave it there without any plants, then after 2 to 3 days, you're going to have algae buildup, and then you're going to have to wash it. So it's all about how you use it. If you use it according to the standard operating procedures which we have, then you shouldn't wash it every cycle. You should wash it every 2 to 3 cycles to take down on the labor. Even the water, we don't drain out the water. We reuse that water that's already in there. You just rebalance your fertilizer and then you continue.
Okay, all right. Awesome. So that means you can actually have more plants, more to harvest in a very shorter time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, amazing. Oh, it's amazing.
We do have another question, which from Matai, can any vegetable be grown in a vertical hydroponic system, or are there some limitations?
Okay. So with our system, it will be your leafy greens. So the variety of herbs that we have, it will be stuff like lettuce, it'll be stuff like kale, your spinach in the all varieties, it'll be stuff like strawberries. So essentially it's a size issue. Anything that's essentially the size of like a head of lettuce will grow, right? Things that grow below the soil won't grow very well hydroponically. So that's your beetroots, your carrots, your potatoes, stuff like that won't grow well hydroponically. Then we've got vine crops, baby tomatoes, for example, stuff like that grow very well hydroponically. And we are currently working on a system to accommodate all of those vine crops. So vine crops would be your tomatoes, your peppers, your cucumbers. That product I haven't showcased today. It's in the pipeline. We're going to be launching it very soon. So those are the crops that grow very well hydroponically.
Amazing. Thank you, Mogale. I think that was all the questions we had in the chat. This is the last chance for anyone to pop their hands up before we close off the session. Awesome. Mogale, thank you. We think you're doing amazing things out there, and we look forward to hearing more. For everyone that joined, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that you look forward to that product brochure and getting in touch with Mogale. There's a lot of exciting things in the space of farming, and farming is so necessary. So anything we can do to support that journey through innovation, I think is the best possible outcome. Mogale is helping with that. He's busy with these innovations in this space, and we will make sure you guys are kept abreast of that. So we will share that with you shortly. Nwabisa, expect a mail from her. I know you've all been in comms with her. And if you do end up getting in touch with Mogale, we would love to hear about it and hear how things progress. So wishing you all the best for the rest of the day. And thank you again for joining us for the first ever Innovation Spotlight. Thank you, team.
Thank you.